Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? All right, let me get this out to Discord and the members. Welcome to the Day Trading Live and Pre-Market Watch List here for Tuesday. And let's see here. Let me get to my homies. All right. Cool. All right. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully good. All right. Just getting one thing set up here and I'll be ready. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so welcome. Good morning, everyone here. So we kind of got some exciting news. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's the be-all, end-all solution, but Russia supposedly came out early European session saying they had a vaccine. So that has had a huge kind of effect on stocks. It's been actually moving gold stocks, gold selling off, precious metals selling off. Futures overnight is up quite strongly, so about 20 points. And Europe is all green, very, very strong. So not like 0.5% or 7.7%, talking like 1.5%, 2%, all very strong in the European indices. And Asia was also up. So this should create a lot of fresh volatility for today. And, if there's obviously more information that has to come out about this vaccine and everything, but if it's legit, then you're probably going to see stocks just get a big boost. We're not seeing that in tech right now, which is very, very interesting because tech was the leader. So there might be some profit taking happening in tech right now. We'll get into that. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on right now. If that's the case, then precious metals should sell off a little bit. Obviously, if there's a vaccine, any sort of like online gambling or casino stocks should benefit like that, because that will obviously create bullish momentum for that. Airline stocks should get bullish momentum. Any sort of travel stocks, retail, entertainment should all get a bullish kind of lift today. There's going to have to be more data that comes out about it because not a whole lot of data has come out about it from what I've seen out of Russia. No scientific evidence or anything like that, but that's all going to be very, very positive. So let's take a look. Let's go through the rounds on the pre-market launch list. And let's see here. Make sure everybody's okay. So we are good to go. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with our pre-market watch list scanner and TradingView. Then we're going to go into Benzinga Pro, see what they got going. And that will determine the trade setups we're going to be looking at for today's day trading setups. Obviously, I still have some swing trades in play. ARNC, got swing on that. I got DKNG, which is a long that I'm holding exposure to for the rest of the year. XME, we added a position yesterday. GDX, we still have long exposure on that. SLV, long exposure on that. There's a few others that we have exposure to right now. So, but let's go through the pre-market watch list and we shall jump on in. So, okay, so first off, big BOMO mover on the day so far. This is up 100%. So let's say EYE, and what is EYE? It's pharmaceuticals. And is there an announcement? Arctic Vision, an hour ago. And Arctic Vision announced exclusive vision license agreement to develop and commercialize Micropine and Microline in Greater China and South Korea. Okay. So New York and Shanghai, Virginia pipeline array point, therapeutic structure. Okay. All right, cool. It's not necessarily related to COVID, but pharma is getting a big boost right now. So let's see here what's going on with that. All right, so here's pre-market highs, very strong. It's up 100% on what kind of volume? Volume is 6.63 million and average volume is only 60 or 99K. So this is without a doubt a stock in play right now. This is going to be a big mover. Okay, so that's where the pre-market highs is. Let's go to the weekly. So zoom out. We'll look at the higher time frame, just see if we're running into any major resistance. And so we got resistance between 959 and 11. It's a little bit thick over here. So here's our resistance, and here's where we are pre-market. Very, very strong holding VWAP pretty much. Pullbacks are being bought and pushing. This could go pre-market. Yeah, we haven't even hit 6 o'clock yet. So this could go pre-market for sure. This could start busting through 8.8 and head up to 9.4 8 and then 10.74. And then if it breaks that, then you're looking at all-time highs. So every 50 cents and dollar, you'd want to be taking profit. So I'm going to put an alert above this. I think this is probably going to break this pre-market. Otherwise, in terms of a pullback, you have a mild pullback here around 6.9 as a potential pullback location. Volume is still very strong. So this is going to be first on our list that we're going to watch. So this will go into our watch list. Anything that goes on the watch list, I just put it on the tabs. The left is most important and right is like swing trades and stuff that I'm taking. Oh, that's a bummer that didn't switch over. So, okay. All right. So what else do we got on pre-market? IBIO, hot pharma stock for a while, day traders' favorite. Not really moving and already fading a lot of that. So we'll pass on that. PFNX, low on volume, but up 50%. Is that real? Yeah, it is. Okay, what are you? You know, we'll be required to pay termination fee of. So I had a merger and it's ending that merger, it looks like. Okay, somehow that's bullish. All right, so pre-market highs. That's not a whole lot of volume on this, though. It just jumps and there's no volume. So I'm going to pass on this. And I want to go to Benzinga and see what's going on here. Okay, so as we suspected, some of the big movers today are going to be airlines. So we're seeing that already. Save, which is Spirit Airlines, NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Airlines, or Norwegian Cruise Lines, and AAL also up big. And Iron, of course. So minimum volume requirement is 600K. And so let's take a look at Save. Save's up pretty strong. So let's take a look at SAVE. Hey, Jeremy, good to see you. And Jimmy Perwanta, good to see you as well. What is that light blue vertical line on your chart? It's night here. It's almost night here. It's 6 o'clock and like the sun is just barely like creaking over. It's yeah, summer's definitely, the super bright nights are ending. So like I used to get here and it would be bright at 6 a.m. and now there's just the smallest feints of light. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. This blue, if you're talking about this, Jimmy, this is the pre-market. So TradingView has a feature where you can, for stocks, it can show you pre-market or aftermarket hours basically. So it's good to kind of have that because then you can see where the market closed and then what's been happening pre-market. Okay, so Save Airlines, for the most part, holding VWAP, not crazy volume. What's volume on Save? 706K. So this is pretty light volume. NCLH, as we suggested, any sort of travel entertainment is going to get a boost. Obviously, as more information comes out, that's going to have a big impact about the vaccine. So here's where we are, 1667 pre-market, and let's see what that means. 1665. So, okay, so we still got resistance at 18. So that's kind of 18 and then 20. So if you wanted to fade this, then you would look for 18 and 20 as potential locations to fade. So yeah, it spiked up to about 1877. So you probably want to put it just a hair below it. Put your alarm. Oh, I already got one. Okay. And then let's put one at 1982. And wow, TLT is just getting hammered. I wanted to put an option on that yesterday and I didn't. That's kind of a bummer. Okay, so NCLH, I'd like to see it get above. Weekly VWAP is just trailing, but you got impulsive, corrective, impulsive move. So this is going to need to build some pressure on 1669. So I think if it clears this, let's take a look at 1 hour. Good morning to you, Chi-Chan. Good to see you. All right, so do we have, yeah, we got some sticky stuff here because you got this spike here and you got this spike here. So I think if it clears 17 and it's built up good pressure and the order flow looks good, then I might take a long to gun for 18 with tight stop below 1666. So you're talking about 30-cent stop roughly and about $1 target. So potential 3-hour trade on that one. I would definitely take profit just before 18. If you clear 18, you got a lot of spikes in here. So you're going to need to clear out this. You're going to need to clear out 1888 because you got spike, 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 spike. So you got a lot here. So I wouldn't take a pure breakout of 18. I'd want to see this spike cleared out. And then you have room for potential move to 20, which being a big round number is going to definitely draw some profit taking for sure. So I think there's some potential trades on this right now. How far did it go down? It went down to 1257. Okay. Because we did a bearish video on that way back. And so it got pretty far down before ramping the last few days. Okay. So yeah, I feel like we got a pretty decent playbook on this one here. So keep an eye on NCLH. We got alarms out on that. And then AAL. Let's take a look at AAL. So far, I'm still liking EYEN because it's not dependent upon like Russia vaccine or anything like that. It's got its own news. All right, pre-market highs, 1522. Yeah, same thing. Impulsive, corrective, impulsive, building pressure at the top. So it's got short-term support at 1464 and then probably 14. So I may watch for a pullback to 14, but let's see what happens. Let's see what's going on with resistance here. So here is 1522 is pre-market highs, which is right here. So if it clears that, then it's got some space. It's got space to go 17. 17 and then 1860. So you got these spikes here, 1728, and then you got this spike here. So 1840, 18, and right here. So 1863. So that might be an interesting target. Airline shares rise as US TSA screening numbers increase. Yeah. Also, the travel ban lifted. That will help as well, or at least international travel ban lifted. So let's look at 1 hour for potential trades. What stocks are you all watching? Do you guys have any trades going on right now? And which ones are you looking at trading this morning? Okay, so how... Okay. I don't see a whole lot. Yeah. So after 1522, I don't see a whole lot till 1611. And then you're talking 1625. So yeah, you get about 90 cents to play with there on the low end. Like that's kind of decent. Obviously, a pullback to weekly VWAP would be pretty solid because that would give you a good pullback point, and it's clearly built up a base at 1077. So I think if it got back there, I would definitely be bullish on that or look for a value play possibly. But yeah, I think if we continue to build pressure, it's holding a corrective structure at the top here, 1488. So if it stays within this kind of 1486 or 1462 lows and like builds a corrective structure and then breaks out, then I think you got a potential play there. So I think there's a potential long. You have to be a little cautious because there's some thick resistance above that. So I'm going to put an alarm above it, and then I have an alarm at 14 for a deeper pullback. These two spike lows aren't bad. 1462, it's not bad. So I'll put maybe a little alarm out there. EYEN is already breaking. It looks like, yeah, it's pushing through. What's the volume on this? EYEN, 11.8 million and normal 120K. So that's definitely moving right now. Let me make sure I got it on my charting platform as well. EYEN, see what's going on. Yeah, it looks pretty strong. Well, okay, time and sales is actually really good. So you can kind of see what's going on. So you can see it's pretty good movement right now. There's really good volume going through, especially as it's attempting to break out. There is a fair amount of retail interest in this right now. We're seeing a lot of single share, double shares. When I say single shares, double shares, one figure shares like 1 through 9 shares, double figure 10 through 99 shares. That suggests a lot of retail interest. Then you have some decent, not decent, but you're getting the 3-figure shares. That tends to be not the smallest retail accounts to do that. But there's definitely a lot of retail interest in this right now. And so, yeah. Okay. All right. So with that being said, we'll probably look for a trade on this here. Okay. So let's see here. Keys Vivo, hoping Apple will fill the gaps. Just watching for now. I haven't looked at Apple in a little bit. Let's take a look. Okay, we got alerts on that. Let's move to something that you don't need so much. Okay, we know this. 450. It's only $3, $2 gap. Yeah, it's a $2 gap. Is that what you're talking about? The overnight gap keys? Tech is getting hit a little bit though. It's losing a little bit of momentum. This is QQQ's, the ETF for the NASDAQ. And instead of holding above this prior all-time highs, it did briefly, which is good because I unwound my bull call spread. I unwound that around here, and it's good because it topped out. And then I'm glad I didn't hold it for a little bit longer because I would have lost money if I had held it longer. But since then, the sell-off has been mostly impulsive, corrective, impulsive. Some brief intraday bounce, but yeah, it's now back below this kind of 269 prior resistance. So it's struggling it's struggling. I think if it gets below this, then maybe you're seeing some tech unwind a little bit early. Tech was the hottest index of all of them. The S&P is just barely making it to its all-time highs, and tech is well above its all-time highs. So, we formed a balancing structure here, and it's trying to use this as a base to launch higher. But if we start to get below 266, 265, then you're going to see a little bit more profit taking. And that means that it's not using the prior ceiling of the structure as support, as a floor to launch higher. It's trying to find, more of a value range inside there before potentially launching higher. So yeah, 266 is going to be key. If it loses 266, then you could see an unwind down to 261, which was the bounce of this whole thing. And then if it breaks below that, then you're going to start testing the bottom of this. And that's going to really start to stretch some of the technicals. Like anybody who's been long on this pullback or this pullback, if they're now, after all this movement, now back to break even like a week and a half later, some of them are going to start to unwind some of their positions because you would have a false break set up then. So yeah, tech is kind of in an interesting place right now. Being the leader for a while, it kind of makes you wonder if there's some profit taking going on. Hoping Apple will get just went now. Okay, so just went here. Jeremy says, looking for a pullback to 1204 or so on SPWR. SPW. Oops. SunPower. Let's see here. Does SunPower have a dividend? It does not. It does not. But I like your thinking. I think ESG investing is, if you're thinking medium term or long term, I think ESG investing is the way to go. It's just you're seeing everything move in that direction. So this is a pretty good structure. Let me look at the 1 hour real quick. Second quarter results. So that was earnings per share 11 cents, adjusted for loss share 20. Didn't show what expected was. What was expected? Well, okay. Estimate is for minus 36. So surprise. That's good. There's a really good base here. Man, if it gets back to there, that'd be a pretty, because you should see the corrective structure. So here's your, yeah, that's a pretty good base. You build, breakout, come back to support, nice structure as a floor, or a ceiling becomes now the floor for the next launch up. Where are you looking for to 1204? It's kind of on the shallow side. It seems a little shallow for a pullback. You're talking not even the lows of yesterday. Lows of yesterday was 1198, and it's above the lows. So you're basically assuming that the lows of yesterday is going to provide a base of support, but you can often see this does have a breakthrough and then pull back. So it tends to, it's not like, yeah, I mean, let's look at how long the structure is. July. So the whole month of July, it ranged, and so it faded a lot of the highs. Again, it fades a lot of the highs. It's not something that builds like a breakout structure and then just runs. It often pulls back, and it's pulling back to value. So yeah, I would potentially consider looking for a little bit deeper pullback. There's some decent value around 1168. Between this 1168 and 1186, so maybe somewhere around here. You could put it just above if you want to, but I'll put an alarm there. I think if it definitely got back to say 11 or 1075, I would definitely add along. Because you don't need much of a stop, and you have a lot of upside. If you got long at 10.8, and you were just to tag the recent highs, you're talking $1.20 upside, and you could have 30 cent downside. So that's a fair amount. That's a pretty decent trade on that one there. So yeah, I like I like this. I like the price action on this. This is good. See if I'm missing anything. Where do we got resistance? We got resistance at 12.45 and then 15. Yeah, that's a big. Okay, so and then if we can clear that, then you got a lot more upside. So pause. That's a silver stock. Okay, so there's some decent upside on this one here. I like it. This is a good spot. This is actually a very good spot, Jeremy. Nicely done on that one. So I will set alarms for 11.8, 11, and then 10.8. But I'll definitely look for a little bit more of a pullback on this one here. 12.04 seems a little on the shallow side. So yeah, but good spot on that one there. Keys is saying, yeah, okay, cool. So Roz, new glasses? No, same glasses. This is the same glasses. Maybe it just looks different because of the hat. I haven't worn a hat in freaking forever. And my girlfriend, we went to the lake the other day and I didn't have a hat to cover the back of my neck and I got totally burnt. I'm like, all right, let's get one. So this is what I used to look like when I played baseball. Okay, thanks for seeing it clear. Cool, awesome. Otherwise, Jeremy, I think it's a good spot. I like the price action on this. It's a very clear structure. It's a very, very clear structure. So yeah, this is a good spot overall. You're holding back, you're pulling back a little bit. Iron is pulling back a little bit. So look for deeper pullback on iron. Iron's not holding the breakout. Obviously, it's fishing for VWAP right now. If it breaks VWAP though, then watch for a pullback to 7. But yeah, that's a good spot. I'm glad you mentioned that. Let me put that it's not quite a small cap, but I need to create like an ESG watch list just for ESG. Okay. Futures are holding, so we're good on that. All right. Good spot on that. Okay, so what else do we got before? Let's see what's Benzinga is showing right now. NCLH. Okay, PFNX has moved up a little bit. And the big volume is in EYEN right now. That's the big volume. FNX, yeah, just one candle bump and then this. It's not my favorite to trade that. It's definitely not my favorite to trade that. Okay, so airlines are pulling back a little bit. Opgen, penny stock watch. MCRB was hot yesterday. Will it make another? We'll make another round. It's not really at huge volume right now. Only 600K. It's about a fourth of its daily volume. Yesterday was big volume day, or yesterday, the day before that, I forget. There's some big movement on that. OPGN. Not a whole lot of upside. Not a whole lot of upside and not a whole lot of volume right now. So really kind of a quieter Tuesday. Let me take a look at some large caps and see what's going on there. Because let's see. So GDX, precious metal selling off huge. SLV below 26, now 25 per. Wow. It's dropped over $2 pre-market. That's huge. That is huge. So where is the next stop for silver? Because I still have some longs in that. On track for worst daily decline since March. Yeah, it's a big drop. 23.54. So probably that's going to be your next pullback point on silver. I'll stay long on silver all the way till here, the top of this structure. It's had an impressive run. I mean, you're talking 18 to 28. That's a very impressive run. I got longs at 26. But yeah, I would stay long all the way until 18 and just hedge on the way down with options and stuff. But 23.65, it's not a bad buy point. That's a pretty good buy point there. So I have alarms all the way down. But yeah, I think looks like silver's short-term in trouble. Yeah, you got some base here, but I think this is your next stopping point. XME, ironically, is not doing so bad, which is the minor stock. So we added a long position on XME, I think yesterday or the day before, and it's holding its gains. So impulsive corrective structure, holding VWAP. Yeah. I would definitely add a long on a pullback to 24.20 or 24 flat. This is a pretty strong launch up. It might try and go to 24.74. This is this kind of base right over here. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. So I will definitely take some, I'll definitely add some positions on this one here. And I think there's even a dividend. Yeah, 1.56. Pay me. Pay me the money. All right. So we got over silver, ARNC, GDX getting hammered some power. So let's take a look at some tech. Nice stocks. Okay. So some of the, let's take a look at, let's see, what were some ones I want to look at? Zoom, which has held up quite resiliently with the whole like US putting pressure on China stocks, Huawei and all that. It's held up, it's done quite well. It's a COVID stock. But if there is a vaccine, you kind of got to wonder how much is this going to unwind. Keep in mind, if you could go back in time and tell yourself to buy a stock, this would definitely be one of the best ones out there. The one that, I mean, a lot of people talked about Tesla gaining 400% or 450%. Dude, that doesn't even come close to the March bottom, $3, 271 in overstock, and it hit 100. That is insane. That is a 40 times return. That's not 400%. That's 4,000% return. That was the best. That was probably one of the best stock plays out there. But anyways, let's go to spot, which is kind of, let's look at spot and Zoom actually. So Zoom has built a corrective structure at the top here, and it's holding decently, but it's got some weakness in it. So the next base, that's a pretty big corrective structure. You do got some at 228, but yeah, you're talking around 200. And then you have this kind of 175 resistance, higher lows, and then breakout. And we haven't visited since. So 225 or 20, what is that? 205 and then 180. Those are some decent pullback areas. If it loses those, man, then you're seeing a huge unwinding in that. I really want to get long Walmart, but it's not giving me any dips. This is a very shallow dip. I might just have to take this. But I really want to get long Walmart as a long-term play. And they actually give me a dividend as well. I want to buy Walmart at 121, but I'm not sure we're getting back there. I bought it at 126, and sadly I got stopped out because it pretty big drop, and I didn't want to sustain that. I think if we were to get back to 122, I would definitely add a long. So Walmart, I think, is a long-term buy. Yeah, it's just building. Yeah, it's holding the monthly VWAP here. It looks like it's building for a breakout. So if it breaks above 133, where we, yeah, okay, all-time highs. Yeah. Okay, so we'll watch for a break of 134. Yeah, I'd really like to get long and a pullback to 122. That would be cherry. Because then, you know, this is the coronavirus lows. It was here. It held most of the coronavirus lows and is making new highs. So, yeah, it's just shown a tremendous amount of resilience. Tesla, not looking so hot. I'm not hearing a whole lot about the Tesla fanboys talking about the stock price anymore. They're talking about the tech, they're talking about other things, but they're not talking about the stock right now. And there was some interesting reports that came out, what was it, yesterday, that Tesla's EV market share in Germany was 18.3%. Now it's at 8.6% when you compare the first 7 months of 2020 versus the first 7 months of 2019. So its market share is dropping because Volkswagen is coming out very aggressively with EV cars. Renault is coming out with EV cars. Who else is coming out with? BMW is starting to produce one. They actually have a badass. They have a new badass electric X3 coming out. Where is that? I think it's an X3. Where are you? Leave confidence. Where are you? That little. Oh man. I'll take a look, but it looked really freaking cool. Not the i3. It looked really. I'm not a fan of that. That is an ugly ass car. I'm sorry, but I hate to say it. Okay, I'll take a look later, but it looked really effing cool. Like it looked really cool. Oh, electrified. There we go. Maybe that's it. There we go. The X3. The X3 and the X5. Those look, yeah. Yeah, they're already starting to come out with plug-in hybrids, and then they're looking for a new concept car that's so. And they got production down. They got production down. They got manufacturing down. They know how to ramp up tech really fast. They know how to scale really fast. So this is going to put a lot of pressure on Tesla for sure. Yeah, BMW. Yeah, that's the car I have. Anyways, so Tesla not looking so good. What is this? Electric vehicle startup Lucid Motors to bring selling first luxury model Lucid Air in early 21. Set the new sedan as first to achieve a 500-mile driving range. Yeah, Tesla's going to have to start diversifying out of EV because even though they're the dominant EV maker right now, that I don't know how long that's going to last. You know, you don't have service centers. You have a huge fan base, though. You have a massive fan base, but Tesla has a lot of other potential products that they could diversify out of very easily. You know, they don't have to be dependent upon cars, but it'll be interesting to see what happens with Tesla if their market share starts to get smaller and smaller because the competition is coming for them. Like, how fast can they diversify? How fast can they move into other technologies that gives them, you know, capital and things like that, profitability? So there's been no word whether they're getting included into the S&P 500, but if they do, then you're talking a lot of funds are going to have to start adding Tesla exposure because they have exposure to S&P. And so if they have exposure to S&P and Tesla gets included, they'll start adding it to their portfolio, which would be a huge boost to the stock. So if you see that, you know, that's going to be a very interesting play. Hello, Forex Professional. Good to see you. Alexander, good to see you. Let's see here. Okay, he's got another trade idea in SRNE. So anyways, Tesla San Jane's new model range plus is the first vehicle certified with the US to have an estimated driving range of more than 400 miles. But if this goes 500, then that will be very, very interesting. So yeah, competition's coming. So they're going to have to start moving out of that. Anyways, let's see what happens on the charts. It's looking pretty weak. I mean, that's okay. So breakthrough, you have prior resistance, no support. So pretty strong launch, double tap, sell off, weaker bounce than this one, weaker bounce, no bounce. So here's your, I mean, it's looking like a breakout structure right now. It does have kind of some spike support, 1335 and 1312, but if it loses 1312, you're going to have a little bit of an air pocket. There's a little bit of support there, but not much. So you're talking then your next base is 1034. So the air pocket is because the market was moving so fast. You don't have a whole lot of history, don't have a lot of order flow there. And so therefore there's not a lot of technical levels or, you know, liquidity there for that. So I'm sure people will be value buying all the way down, but it just, yeah, there's not a whole lot inside here that's going to offer massive support. Sure, round numbers are definitely a potentiality, maybe around 1200. But if it loses that with some impulsivity and some decent volume, like volume has been, yeah, like once it did, this is peak volume. This is kind of like peak speculation here. This just last 2-day ramp from 1400 to 1800. So not even that, one session and then overnight, just a massive surge in volume. And then it's faded since then. So fair amount of profit taking and not a whole lot of new buyers coming in right now. So this is your big one right here. This is your first big level. If it gets below this, it's in trouble. If it gets below that, it's in a lot of trouble. Then you're gonna start seeing a lot of bag holders. Let's see where Tesla is on it. Tesla's number 8. It's continuing to move up and up and up. Sadly, this site is going away soon because Robinhood's gonna be cutting off the data. This poor guy, he invented this amazing app. He's gotten hedge fund interest. He's gotten so much traffic. And then Robinhood's like, meh. Most likely, I don't know. I'm just speculating. This is just my opinion. But if I had to guess, Robinhood's going to start selling that data. They seem to be, they sell all kinds of data. They sell order flow, PFOF, pay for order flow. So, but since it's been dipping, Here's the price. You're just seeing more and more accumulate. It's losing ground, and 533, now it's at 540. So about, 9,000 new people have bought over the last 2 weeks, and they've been tracking it pretty well. So if this starts to unwind, you're talking anybody that has held it from here is now underwater. These people are clearly underwater. These people are heavily underwater. Per share, they're down $400 right now. So per share. So you're talking $300-$400. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of bag holders if it loses that. There's going to be a lot of Robinhood traders that are going to be in trouble. Lewis says the cynical side of me says that's why they are doing it. That's why they're doing what? That's why who's doing what? I'm curious. Anyways, okay, so that's Tesla. So that's looking pretty interesting. Jerry wants to look at SRNE. Let's see. None of them have broken through. Okay, this is pulled back deeper. Good. Okay. Where would you be a good? Okay, so a deeper dip to 497. Okay, so if this breaks, then I'll watch for a dip to $5 basically. Okay, so let's look at I like SunPower. We'll hold that for now. So let's take a look at SRNE, Sorrento. Just been such a hot stock lately. Wow. What happened? What happened? I'm not really seeing SRNE on volume, so there's not much. You have to wait on that one. If it loses this, though, if it loses weekly VWAP, then you could see a dip down to 15, which would probably be a decent value play. Yeah. And then you got 10.54. Spike here, spike here. So could be a major unwinding. Yeah, had a big rip. Didn't really do much. Coronavirus, then had just a giant rip and is built. So yeah, you're talking 11, 10.54, and 15 are going to be major support on that one there. You have a take profit at 20 on SRNE. Bummer. Oh, wow. Market open. Okay, cool. All right. So we got pretty good list for today. Just to review the list, and we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to sign off and go to the members trade setups area where we share our trades live with them. So to recap, S&P holding gains right now, so looking decent. QQQ, keep an eye on tech, potentially unwinding. Heavier levels on that. Overstock is unwinding. That's a big one right now. There's probably some serious profit taking on Overstock right now. Yeah, that's huge. It just lost a major structural support. So I might do an option play on this one here, because this right here. This prior highs, if that loses that floor, then you could see a major unwinding in Overstock. Could be a potential good short there as well, so keep an eye on that. XME is holding, but it's under pressure because of precious metal stocks are losing ground. Sorrento, SRNE can't touch till 15. This is all just my opinion. SunPower, watch for 11.85 and then deeper to 11. EYEN is going to need to clear this. Next pullback level is about 5. NCLH not breaking, so watch for a break of that in 17. And then same thing here, watch for a break of 15.22 on ALL. Again, keep your eyes on the airline, on the vaccine news. Any sort of updates about testing, scientific research, something like that is all going to have a major effect. So keep an eye on that one there. Other than that, I'm going to wrap it up for this session. So thanks for coming, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good trade ideas out of it. If you'd like to know more, check us out at the website, secondskiesforex.com, or our YouTube channel, Second Skies Trading. Other than that, I wish you all good luck trading today. I will see our members in the live trade room very shortly. So good luck trading today, and I'll see you guys on Friday. Take care, everyone.